Welcome, everybody. You're listening to the Sicilian Corner. Mikey here, cousin Lou behind the controls, making us look good. I mean, life is good. I took a ride up to the brook this week.
That's right. We were talking about it before the show.
Yeah, nice and convenient, very close. It's funny, from where I live, it's the same amount of time to get to Encore as it is to get to Seabrook.
Is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. On a Sunday morning early, it takes me like maybe 37, 38 minutes. There's nobody on the road. And that's just about what it took me to get up to Seabrook. I want to check it out. And,
but how many people, when you left that place, how many people did you know by their first names when you left? You met a lot of people, right? I
met a couple of people.
Yeah.
Actually, they were friends of Barbara, Shirley and Reg. And they're steadies. They go up there a couple of times a week. And something, as you get older, you're looking for things to do. And as long as you're controlled, I
always look for things.
Do me a favor, just sit there.
Okay.
All right. As long as you're controlled, it can be fun. And I'm sure they're there, so they know a lot of the people that are close to them. I'm a creature of habit. I like to go to certain machines, and that's it. That's all I'll play. But I'm also limited to what I'm going to try to either win or lose,
right? Especially
on the losing side. This is not to be confused with, say, the Encore. It's a whole different ball game, totally. But the people there, people who work there, outstanding. Very friendly. The girl who pushes the coffee cart around. I love that. I thought that was a nice little feature.
It's employee owned. You know that, right? It's employee owned.
I didn't know that.
And it's a charity casino.
I know it's a charity.
Yeah.
What's the percentage that goes to charities?
I want to say half, but I'm speaking out of my hat. It's not half, Roger?
No, I believe it's at best, I think 35.
35 would have been my next guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Only because there's a guy that's being investigated in Concord for shenanigans, for doing stuff.
For not doing his charitable contributions.
Now,
no.
There's a word that I didn't think I was going to hear today. Shenanigans.
But we got Lucky's that you saw there. There's a steakhouse coming, reportedly.
Yeah, but I was in the mood for having breakfast.
Yeah.
Forget about it. I would have had to bring a box breakfast in.
Yeah. No.
Lucky serves as their restaurant. It serves breakfast all day, but it opens at 12.
Start till noon. Yeah, exactly.
By 12, I'm out of there. I'm long gone by then. I
hear Lucky's is good though.
Something?
I haven't partaken yet, but I hear it's good.
Yeah, from what the people were telling me, Shirley was saying that they went there for Thanksgiving and the food was outstanding. Yeah. And something, instead of being alone and being home, you go out and you have a little something to eat and you're meeting people and you're talking. And I think that's healthy. I think it's healthy. Hey, first of all, last week, I really appreciated all your help. Last week when we had the consul general on with us, and they were very impressed with the show. We had some very positive feedback, and we're going to have them on maybe in about 4 months or so as the spring season starts ramping up, because there was a lot of events to go on, and I'm looking forward to that.
You know how you did well? Because he was kind of tight. You were tight going into the show. He was tight going into the show, but he was having a blast by the end of it. He was just having fun and cracking jokes.
I wasn't really tight. I was somewhat apprehensive.
Oh, it's not
because it's out of my comfort zone.
Sure.
But today, I got two friends here, and I'm looking forward to the show. And I have to tip my hat to this guy in particular, Rocky Morrison. Rocky.
Hey,
a pleasure, man.
Nice being
here. Nice grip. You know something? That's some hauling everything out of the river besides what you did for a living before that. Rocky, you're the president and CEO of Clean River Project. And you and your wife, Paula, have done, I hope people appreciate the grassroots, the way it started. And on this side, he's no stranger to the Sicilian Corner. Is our friend Roger Trudell. Roger, how are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. How about you?
You know something? I think every day is a holiday.
Yeah.
I
And
try to
hello, Lou, too.
Hey, Roger.
I take them. It's funny you walking in here and not bringing tomatoes.
I felt naked. I really did.
I'm surprised they let you.
Is that a tomato in your pocket or just a cucumber? I don't know.
I'm surprised. Hey. This, like I said, usually during the summertime, you're always in. We give some great hints about gardening. And is this guy a gardener?
It's usually the topic, when I come here to see him, he usually asks about you and your tomatoes. And
Well, first of all, both of you had benefited this year with my gift of tomato plants. His wife gardens.
Oh.
Okay.
Unless he can garden on the river,
Yeah.
no way
no, I'm never
does he
home.
garden. No. But and he does okay. Does okay. And you
I did
enjoyed
that.
it.
I had a ball. I mean, I
Wait till
walk
next
out there.
year.
Oh yeah. We're gonna dedicate a little bit more room to it, but it was so nice just walking by and grabbing one of those cherry tomatoes, popping it.
Yep.
I mean, you really can't
That's what
beat
they're
it.
here for.
And to be honest with you, everybody had problems with tomatoes this year.
Mhm.
Everybody. Too much rain, not enough sunshine, the whole 9 yards. Rocky, let's go back to where you were born and where you grew up. And
I was born in Methuen, right in the West End by Royal Feast and
Royal
the old
Feast.
Jimmy's too.
Royal Feast. Beef sandwich shop.
The old Skyport restaurant and Skyport airplanes were there.
And that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Was that China Dragon too?
Yeah, that was across the street there.
Yep. So your backyard basically was what?
The Merrimack River. My front yard was 110, and I had 75 feet, and then there was a river.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
small yard.
So you grew up right on the river.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden you're out in your boat, you and your wife, and you're seeing debris here, debris there, stuff caught in the bushes and whatnot. And
It was so bad that there was no DPW going out to clean up that. There was tires, kids' toys, furniture. It was just a mess. It would bob up and down along the shorelines.
the town of Methuen was doing no DPW on the river.
Nobody. No town. Andover, nobody. Haverhill, nobody would.
Well, it was an open dump, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to be honest.
Yeah.
I had the Shawshene River as my backyard. I grew up in South Lawrence, Roger, and I learned how to ice skate on the Shawshene River. We had an area which we called the Flats, and it was only at most 3.5 to 4 feet high. And we consider that relatively safe if you didn't panic and you went under.
Yeah.
But I learned how to skate. We had our version of hockey. We'd light a bonfire every night we were down there, and something. It was great. And the other part of the Shawshene River, which comes out of Ballardvale through Andover,
Village of
through
Ballardvale.
North Andover.
Yes.
Yeah. Take a canoe out in Ballardvale and kayaks, and geez, it was a lot of fun. We had a place that we learned how to swim, and it was called Bluebells. And Bluebells, I don't know if you remember, Rocky, but where the city of Lawrence used to get their sand for the DPW in South Lawrence, there was this, we called it the sand pits. And that's where in high school, where we always would go parking. And there would probably be 20, 25 cars, with your girlfriend. Of course, it's cold. The windows are all fogged up. And, you got WEEI on and you listen to Woo Ginsburg. And everybody had jumper cables because guaranteed somebody's car was not start. That's for sure. But anyway, that Bluebells to me, that sand, that whatever you want to call it, that strain that ran through there where the city got their sand for the DPW, it ran right down to the Shawshene River. and break it. I mean, this was like our private beach.
Well, do you know the only thing I ever pulled out of the Shawshank River was a contractor bag full of marijuana.
Yeah.
Yep. We were giggling. We got this big.
It wasn't.
I don't know. You know, we got a 28-foot boat up there. We're giggling because we got it up there, and then we turn it around. And the only thing was up there was a contractor bag. They said, pick it up, throw it on the boat, and we thought it was leaves. And so we opened it up at the end. It was all marijuana bags, and there was ounces all ready to sell.
Oh, Jesus.
You sure that wasn't us?
I mean, you could make a few bucks with that back then. Now it's legal.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many people smoke marijuana. Because I don't do it. And, you know, I gave it to the police department. First, I called the media, let them know. And then next thing you know, all my friends are calling. Well, you did what?
Can I give you a quick story about Rocky's love of the river?
Sure.
How he grew up.
Yeah.
He spoke about Jimmy's too.
Mm-hmm.
So we all know where that is now. So this is going back probably, I would say late 80s, early 90s. Rocky can probably dispute that, whatever. We went there for a family meal. Everybody's birthday's in July, and we usually go out for a meal. We went to Jimmy's too, which was a nice venue, right on the river.
Good restaurant.
And they had this beautiful little, I think the English call it a conservatory. It's just arched glass.
I remember.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there having our meal, another fine meal. And I looked out on the river, and I had to nudge my brother-in-law next to me. I goes, "Is that a 57 Chevy out on the river?"
Wow.
He goes, "Yeah, I believe you're right." He goes, "Who the drives around a 57 Chevy on the river?" It was on a pontoon boat.
Okay.
And he's zipping up and down the river. Come to find out years later, after I met him, after he moved down the street from me, that was the man.
Hey, that's how I learned how to use a pontoon boat. I threw a car on that and drove it up and down the river with my buddies. And I learned how much you can carry with a pontoon boat. Next thing I was pulling trash out with pontoons.
So the year about 2005, you and your wife set up a scavenger hunt with your friends.
Yes.
And that was probably the beginning of what turned out to be the Clean River Project.
I was bitten by the trash bug. I couldn't stop. I haven't stopped yet. Yeah, we did a scavenger hunt on the sandbar. We got all our friends off the sandbar with their boats, and they went and got all the tires and trash. And we set it up as a game and gave away prizes, cash, and some trophies and some beer. And it worked out so well that we did it one more year. And then my friends wouldn't come back because their boats were getting trashed. But I couldn't stop. I was in love with it.
Wow.
And here we are.
Now
20 years later.
I was going to say, you love it, don't you? I could tell by looking at you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
we're average anywhere from 60 to 100 ton a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do? You pull out a lot of tires. I remember in 2007, you pulled out what? How many tires? 600 something?
Oh, I'll tell you.
I have it down here somewhere.
In
548 tires and 23 cars, Louis.
Wow.
Now we're up to 68. 86 cars.
Now,
how many of them are right across the street at the overpass, the 495 overpass?
Hey, we've been getting them all. There's a few more still over in Andover we haven't touched yet.
Yeah.
But there's out there.
When 93 first went in and they completed it, coming down, going north, 2 cars went over that wall, and they're still there, right?
I think we pulled one.
Oh, you got one.
We pulled one last year, and then there was another. They were going after another one. We don't know if it's a pickup truck or a beach wagon, station wagon upside down. We don't know yet, but yeah.
What do you use? You have sonar on your boat? Is that, and you look for images?
Yeah, Ray Marine came in and gave us side scan sonar for our boats because they partnered with us. Now we can see at the whole bottom of it. Yeah, so that's how we found the cars. The divers went down and they came up, but you know how the divers get them out? They have to go down and they have to wash them out with a fire hose because there's so much silt, and then they airbag them to the surface.
Is that how they get them up?
Yeah.
Does the state police have a hand in this?
They usually, when we find a suspicious car like that, they'll dive on it, make sure there's no bodies or bones and stuff like that, and then they clear it and then we pull them.
They haven't found Jimmy Hoffa yet.
No.
Who knows? Who knows? There's still more cars in there.
There's more cars, yeah. It's like 30 cars still out there.
How deep is the Merrimack?
About 20 feet.
So it's not that deep.
That's not that deep. No.
Not deep.
Deep enough.
The,
Deep enough to hide them.
yeah.
After like 7 feet, 8 feet, that's lights out down there. It's so dark.
I can't wait long for the answer to this question because you've already told the marijuana story.
Yeah.
The bag of the marijuana. You just talked about bones and cars. What's your story about your find in the Merrimack?
The really cool one was an urn. It was a marble urn. It was a big one like this. And we had a gentleman from Vietnam. His whole face was engraved and all that. And his family was supposed to ship him back to Vietnam to be,
He was from Vietnam, not a vet.
Yes.
He was from Vietnam. Okay.
He was a war hero.
Oh, okay.
He was, and he was supposed to be shipped back and buried in his country. Well, somehow, we believe it was one of the family members threw him in there. And it was glowing off the bottom. It was 6 feet out from the shoreline. There was something glowing. And one of my guys hooked on to pull up, and he started backing him. Says, "I'm not touching that." And I walked up and looked at it. So anyway, so I put it on Facebook. I said, "The weirdest things you find." Next thing, all the media's calling me because they looked at the name and all that. They Googled it and found out who he was. It took several weeks for the family to come and get him. I guess they didn't like Uncle Joe. It took him several weeks to come and get him.
So when
you didn't hit it off with Uncle Joe at all.
Hey, we put him in the garden. We said good morning, and every day we said good morning to him.
Keep him watered too.
He was hanging out with us.
So when you say war hero, for our side or their side?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
We'd have to Google that. But anyways, yeah.
That's a cool
That
story.
was a cool
story.
I would have loved to have seen the expression on your face.
You can find this stuff on our website.
Oh, really?
It's got to be great when a diver comes up and says, "I'm not touching that."
No, it was one of my guys. That was because it was only 6 feet out, maybe around 6 feet deep, and you could see it glowing, and he hooked on and pulled it out.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess you can't throw those things that far from shore.
No. Maybe they found a deeper spot the next time.
Hey, listen.
Hopefully he got shipped back to where he was supposed to be going. But
well, listen, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to continue our little conversation
Sounds
here
good to me.
because you've got a million things. I give you a lot of credit, man. I don't know how you keep it up, and when you get into the politics side of it, you gotta have patience, and I know you don't. So this is what I'm dying to find out how you handle it with some of these different mayors and some of these communities. Anyway, we're going to be right back. We'll take a break, Lou, and stay tuned.
Meat and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's Seaside Italian Kitchen and Pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibe Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lamazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, The Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141. With a commitment to excellence, Colizzi Memorials is dedicated to helping families capture the spirit of their loved ones by building beautiful, lasting tributes that will endure the test of time. Trust Colizzi Memorials to build a personalized tribute that would reflect your loved one's life forever. That's Colizzi Memorials, 217 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. Telephone number 978-674-7035. 978-674-7035.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, everybody. We have Rocky Morrison, Clean Harbor President, CEO,
Clean River Project.
Clean River Project. That's the other company.
That's the other
That's the other.
Stay away from
that.
them.
That's the other company. See what happens when you have a little Sorrento limoncello, and in the morning, just to get you going a little bit. It makes you a little foggy. Roger, you guys have been friends for years.
Yep.
Your neighbors. Before I even met Rocky, you've always complimented what he does.
Absolutely.
And you've always admired what he does.
A staunch supporter.
As do I. Do you have something you'd like to
Yes.
present to this young man?
About 2 weeks ago, Linda we donate to a bunch of places, and she says, I have a donation to Rocky. We do that every year. And I said,
Because you're a 501c3.
Right, nonprofit.
So I
You're
said,
a
wait a
nonprofit.
second. I'm going to be on the show with Mike and Rocky. Why don't I save it? And everybody out there, it's tax deductible. Merry Christmas and
Hey.
do good work with it,
Well,
my
thank
friend.
you. Thank you.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Did you make it out to the Clean River Project?
Did you put my name on it?
Or did you put his name?
I had nothing to do with that. I
I
haven't
knew he
even
was, I
seen
knew
the
he was,
check.
I knew he was going to ask you.
I haven't even seen the check.
Yeah. Oh,
It was in the envelope.
It's
There's
gonna
a stamp. Well, we're going to
it's
mail
go-
it. I said,
it's
no,
gonna
give it to
be
me.
a
I'll
surprise.
give it
Stamp
to
is-
him on the air.
The stamp is 66 cents. That's why he brought it in.
Well, it's got a
Oh, I can give you a story about the
pretty
stamp.
butterfly on it.
You got a story?
Well,
Go ahead. Give it to me.
Online, when this going on, postage stamps 50% off. Okay, so she Googles it. It looks okay.
This ought to be good.
So she goes on, and she orders. Oh Jesus, $400 worth of stamps. Now half off, so we're getting because she a lot of cards and stuff, and then she gets like a panic attack and says, "Oh, is this a scam?" Call my brother-in-law up, and she said, "Yo, don't do this. We think it's a scam." So he says he talked to the guy at the post office in Bristol, New Hampshire, where he lives. He goes, "The post office gives nothing away, zero. Call up the cops. We think we've been scammed." The cops come over. I don't know. Do what you want with it. I don't know. I took the stamps. I go down, and they were still in the thing with the UPC thing on it.
You received,
You
the
received
stamps?
them.
We received the stamps.
Wow.
Surprising.
Okay. Well, they could be fakes. I go down to the North Salem post office, and I explain the situation
To the postmaster?
to the postmaster, and he looks at it. He scans it. They're real. There were outdated stamps. They're forever stamps, but they were bought
They had
in.
forever stamps back then?
Oh yeah, they were at least 2015. So these guys were buying up stamps back then, holding them, and then
Not bad idea.
and we got a stack of stamps. Honest to God.
Louis, is this your company?
No. Next week.
Yeah.
No?
They're going up, and she was panicked.
Oh, yeah.
Did I just
If
blow?
it sounds too good to be true,
True.
what happens?
And she called. We put on the credit card.
Yeah.
She called Discover. No, they're legit, supposedly. And we went through all the hoops.
Now, see, I've seen that, and I've always stayed away from it because it doesn't sound right.
It doesn't. But
Leave it up to
God is-
you.
God
Leave
is
it
my
up to you
witness.
to get a bargain.
my wife,
All right.
and
Your
she almost
wife.
had a heart attack over it.
All right. Let's get back to the Merrimack River and our guest over here. All right.
Okay.
I know he's
Fair
a
enough.
friend of yours. All right. The Merrimack it forms with two rivers up in Franklin, New Hampshire. It's approximately 117 miles long. The one thing, Roger, the one thing I've noticed, because I had a problem 1955, I almost drowned in the Merrimack, and it was really a stupid act on my part. It was right after a hurricane, and they had to send the fireboat out to get us, and we thought we were Tom Sawyer. We built a raft out of telephone poles because the telephone company used to, poles that were split in half or whatever they would just dump them right off of Shawsheen Road. It was like a dump, really. And then once the water started coming up, they started to float. So, we tied them together, and, we got these birch branches, these tall we could push ourselves around it. And that was our raft. That was our playground. That was our playground.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
So now you get hit with, I believe, 1955. I think it was Gloria. I mean, we got clobbered. There was a really bad hurricane.
You went around for the 38 hurricane now?
I wasn't. No,
Okay.
I was born 45. But my father told me a lot of stories about the 38 and what happened to the Merrimack at that time. But anyway, long story short, we're out, and it was fine in the shallows. There's areas that are flooded we never were able to go into before. But we got caught in the middle of the Shawshene River, which flowed toward the Merrimack in North Andover, went underneath Merrimack Street. We had to lay flat in the boat because if you stood, you get knocked into the water. At this point, you can't do nothing but hold on. Well, we end up in the Merrimack. And of course, cars going by. They called the fire department, police department. They had to send a fireboat out. Me and my parents. I thought I was going to get killed. But scared the living bejeebus out of me. But that Merrimack, Louis, from up in Franklin, and I'm sure you know this. I don't know if you know it, Roger, but the above sea level is 280 foot. As it makes its journey down, it's pretty steep. I mean, you get to Newburyport, you're
It's
zero.
sea level.
Yeah, you're at sea level. And the funny thing about it, years and years ago, when the glaciers were forming and created all kinds of different territories, the Merrimack used to flow completely south. It would come from Franklin, and when it got up on the south side, north side of Lowell, it continued to go straight. It continued, and it ended up in Boston.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when the glaciers melted, it left all this debris behind. And the Merrimack Valley per se, which is part of southern New Hampshire and Massachusetts, it flooded, but it needed some place to go. And it started cutting a channel, which become the Merrimack as we know it today. But at one point, it actually went all the way to Boston.
It's true.
So, I mean, I found that to be extremely, just to give you an idea, 280 foot, the Boston Encore Casino is 260 foot high. So add another 2 stories to Encore, and that's the pitch. So, firsthand that current. I mean, trying to navigate it sometimes must be a major issue.
Yeah, it's a good practice when the water's running real strong like that. I'll bring my guys out, rookies, and start teaching them how to navigate that boat into the shoreline, hold it, and pull out. So it's a good way to teach.
How many boats are you currently running?
7.
You have 7 boats now?
7 boats, yeah.
When I took that tour, I think you had 3 or 4.
We're growing. Yeah.
I mean, you're cranking, but
look,
you have certain boats that have a purpose, right?
Yes.
What, for instance,
We have a boat that's 30 feet long and has a hydraulic arm on it. It's a big hand that actually grabs tractor trail tires, engines, anything gets stuck in the mud, or cleans out the booms with it too.
you find engines in the river?
The car engines? Oh yeah.
How the hell do they get them in the river?
Back in the heyday, they would throw anything in the river.
Yeah, that's
As
true.
you're doing deep cleaning, you find that stuff.
Throw them on the ice, let them melt.
If a car split apart and rolled down, it fell apart.
Think about it.
You find that stuff.
True.
Yeah.
True. How do you feel about your efforts, say, in the last, 18 years, what you've accomplished? Do you feel good about the way the river was then compared to now?
I can tell you when I first started, the cities and towns in the state would never admit they were dumping CSOs in the river. Storage, combined storage overflows, they would not admit it until we got booms in the water back then, and we got some booms donated. Those are big oil slick booms. They go out there only they go about 12 inches down, and it catches everything, trees, anything that's floating, condoms, applicators, storage stuff. And we didn't realize, but we could smell, but we never realized it. Once we put those booms in the water, we started saying, "What is this?" So we brought the media out. I said, "Look at the storage. Look at the smell. Look at the condoms, the applicators." Well, they started doing their investigations, and finally, the state and the cities and towns towns couldn't not like they couldn't come up with something. So they started admitting that they were dumping every time it rained out millions of gallons of raw sewage into the river. So if it wasn't for a Clean River project, they would have still covered this up. So now it's all in the news. Every time they dump, they have to put it in the paper. They have to post it online, how many millions of gallons they do. So yeah, the river has really taken a turn.
So now they still don't do anything about it, but we know about it.
Now there's more eyes on them, and they
yeah.
can't hide it no more. So
Right.
they can only get better from here on. I mean, we won't be around, but maybe in the future things will change.
Well, financially, it's huge.
Yeah, they go waste.
So old when you do get inundated like we did. I think Worcester is going to end up with 60 inches of rain this year, which is an all-time high. But I mean, you look at, you get 3 inches, 3.5, 4 inches of rain. I mean, the sewer systems can't handle it.
No.
I mean, it's so what's the answer?
What the answer is, they got to start separating the pipes little by little, street by street. Many years. Just start ripping them up and separating the street drains from the house drains, and just start slowly. And you got to start somewhere.
Was it Manchester who did the overflow tanks, and was that effective? What was the town in New Hampshire that started doing the overflow tanks?
There was one up
question.
there. There was one up there.
I think it was Manchester.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know if
sure
it
I
was
read about
effective
that.
to any degree?
I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah.
I fall back on Hooksett storage plant where they dumped all those discs all over the river.
Yeah.
And we still
I
see
still
them.
find them. I still find them.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, I still see them.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. All these years later, still coming down.
Jesus.
Go on the beach and find them on almost a daily basis. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Funding for your project comes from many sources. What is the biggest support you get?
So far, we're doing grants. Grants are very scarce, but we try to fill them out.
Do you write grants?
We actually have a grant writer to work on that.
They're a pain in the butt, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I've written a couple. Phew, I hate it. I hated it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you got a real good grant writer, and I mean it's a talent. It really is. And I think what's involved in it. Being a 501c3, you're under constant scrutiny.
Oh, always, yeah. Yeah, so the grants are hard because you can find grants for passing out pamphlets, but when it comes to cleaning the environment, really physically cleaning, they're scarce. They're scarce out there.
There's a lot of competition though.
And a lot of competition. Yeah. They'll get people out there want to do water testing, and they'll get the grants. I mean, we're trying to physically clean, but it's tough out there.
You mentioned water. The Merrimack River supplies water to 600,000 families.
And growing.
And growing.
And growing.
600,000. Water, and that's mind-boggling. That's mind-boggling. Methuen, you're relatively close to where the water comes in from the Merrimack and starts being processed. Is that a pretty good system?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, when I first moved it back there a long time ago, there was 6 cars off their intake pipe.
You can't make this stuff up.
Welcome to Methuen. See how important it is to have
You can't make this stuff up.
No, right after you're drinking your intake pipe, there's 6 cars sitting out there.
Yep.
Welcome to Methuen. Well, yeah, that's how important Clean River is, to be scanning the bottom and pick up all these relics off the bottom.
I think what it is if something doesn't have a revenue number coming back, it takes back burner. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If you're involved in something and it's a revenue maker, they'll support the little bit cheaper side of it. But in this case, there isn't anything. I mean, it's strictly money going out. And to me, I think the future it's so important to clean this. And again, I can't compliment you enough. But listen, guys, let's hold on to our thoughts.
Okay.
Roger, I know you got a million questions you want to ask.
Well, I cut it down to half a million. So
Half a million. Louis, why don't you take us out the break? And we're going to be right back, everybody.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's Seaside Italian Kitchen and Pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibes Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lamazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining experience to its customers at Ristorante Molise. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients, and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141. With a commitment to excellence, Colizzi Memorials is dedicated to helping families capture the spirit of their loved ones by building beautiful, lasting tributes that will endure the test of time. Trust Colizzi Memorials to build a personalized tribute that would reflect your loved one's life forever. That's Colizzi Memorials, 217 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. Telephone number 978-674-7035. 978-674-7035.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back. Rocky, as we've alluded to a few times, you're a 501c3.
Yeah.
You rely on contributions quite a bit. How important is the Massachusetts Environmental Trust State to the Clean Harbor project?
I'll tell you, we've been partnered with them, and they usually send us some good grants. They were very hot on pulling cars on that. They could see the benefit of what we've been working on. They gave us a grant one time to do over 100 homeless camps from Lowell down to Lawrence to Haverhill that we cleaned up along the shoreline. So if we can get a grant out of them, that's a big help.
Yeah, it's a hell of an organization, boy, it really is. People that are listening to us, especially those that live along the Merrimack River, like, my partner Tom Zappler, he loves where he lives in Merrimack. I think you were invited to dinner one day, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Oh, he didn't invite you? You didn't go?
Wait. No, there was supposed to be.
Maybe he lost your number.
Should I talk about that cookout he was supposed to have with all his neighbors?
Yeah.
And
I
clear
heard
the river?
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting.
he's
When
extremely.
the phone don't ring, you'll know it's him.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
I'm still waiting for that phone call.
But if people wanted to contribute a few dollars, it is tax deductible. How would they go about doing that? Your website is?
They go on the website, the cleanriverproject.org, or you can get one on Facebook, Clean River Project on Facebook. You'll see everything there, and follow us, and you'll see we got PayPal, all that stuff. You can donate. Come down and visit. We'll give you a tour.
I follow him. I donate. Do I donate stuff to your organization, Rocky?
Yep. There you go.
Well, even that. But when I go to Salem Dump and I find stuff that you can build all your toys with, drums.
You have more connections.
All
at that
kinds of
dump.
stuff.
Yeah. You amaze me.
I'm on a first name basis with every seagull down there.
The guy goes and buys Christmas presents for the workers at the Salem, New Hampshire dump
Okay, well,
because they treat him so good.
Well, I give them tomatoes.
I go to his house and he said, see this? I got this at the dump. You see this? I got,
if I need
firsthand.
something, I tell him, hey, this is what I'm looking for. 'Cause
Yeah.
We recycle bikes out of the river, and he gets me all the decorations.
He would message me, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm down the dump. I see something in a pile. Do you want this? Hell yeah. And I bring it to him.
Rocky, in a perfect world, looking forward, we're all getting older. What would you like to see happen to the Merrimack River right now?
I think I'm waiting to see if some of these politicians have been stuck in there for all these years to retire so we can move on and actually build. I mean, I want to build it where I retire and there's a whole younger generation and there'll be a fleet of boats up and down this river. And I think just getting some of these politicians been there stuck for years, just out of the way and let the younger generation take over. That's what I want to say.
People that are more tuned into the environment is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much money to do a good job. I mean, you could take a penny and make it go a long way on a nonprofit.
Well, our government spends so much money. Let's work on projects, and our infrastructure really sucks. I mean, be honest with you, the highway system, the bridges, the whole 9 yards. I mean, and you get Massachusetts. I mean, they had a huge surplus of shit. Don't give it away.
Yeah.
Put it to work. I mean, you drive from Connecticut into Massachusetts, it's like night and day. Debris on the side of the road. Well, all that stuff is going to end up going somewhere. It goes into a stream. That stream moves. It goes into a major river. And it's one thing after another. You see nothing but plastics everywhere. And it's not right. I did want to ask you, as we're getting close to our time, on the streets, rock salt, how detrimental?
Rock salt has its problems on some of the lakes up in New Hampshire and so forth. But when it comes to the Merrimack River, there's so much pollution that the state and cities and towns are dumping in. Where do you start with the CSOs? Every time it rains, you got billions of gallons coming from every city, town, dumping their waste.
Salt is the least of your worry.
Salt is the
it
might help clean it. It might help clean it. I don't know.
Well, you have a salt filter on your house to get the minerals out, so why not?
If you were to take all the microplastics and the plastics that are being in through the straight drains, and then the CSOs are dumping with all the plastic condoms and applicators, people don't believe it, but they actually do dump it into the river, the plastics. You filter that stuff out with the booms. It floats. Even CSOs follows a jet stream in the river. It actually floats because we find it in the booms.
What is CSOs?
Combined storage overflows. Every time it rains, they dump millions of gallons.
Yeah.
They just open it up.
Right.
Well, it actually floats. It doesn't mix like Kool-Aid and spread out. It actually flows along with a jet stream. And I
Kool-Aid.
That's
going to stick with me.
Yeah.
No, it actually floats the surface and it floats down river. It's all over the shorelines. It's it's a mess.
And we want to say to all our listeners, have a wonderful lunch.
Yeah.
Jetsam and
next time you're having Kool-Aid, think of me. But,
man.
There's something wrong with you.
No, I've lived on a river for like 30 years. It's a thing. Before the notices, Rocky, we all knew. Yeah. It's just a matter of you knew when it rained, but you knew when it happened, right?
Yeah. Well, if we start now, maybe our beaches will get cleaner. Try to fill out take some of that plastic.
Take the syringes out of it.
All the syringes.
That's another thing. Roger, you showed us a picture. It boggled my mind. Rocky, why don't you tell us exactly what you have on display to prove your point and what you're taking out of the river?
Well, I put an education shed together because we got a lot of schools come through classrooms and so forth.
Oh, that's a good thing.
And they want to see, Lawrence, Andover, all these schools come through and they want to see what we pull out and all and educate them. And we have a glass tower. It's like 16 by 16 square and it's 7 feet tall. It's full of hypodermic needles. We
right
try
to the top.
We try to show the kids what's floating down the river and to be careful and so forth. In today's society, it's the norm now. And these end up on our beaches and everything else if we're not collecting with our booms.
I mean, if you look at the news too, they will shut down parks because they find needles.
Yeah,
they would gag on these things.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems that blocks the solution because towns tend to look at this as that's coming from upstream. It's not our problem. Fix that, right? So they don't want to put money into it.
Yeah, it's a trickle down effect from Salisbury. Havel did it. Lawrence did it.
New Hampshire's doing it,
and nobody wants to do anything about it. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yep.
I get that every time I talk to a politician.
Listen, I know we're going into winter, but winter's going to blow by real quick, and before you know it, we're going to be thinking about going out on your tour boat. And like I said, that's a revenue source
Yes.
for you guys. You sell tickets, and how can on your website? How do you get tickets?
Yeah,
for
all that information's on our Facebook and on our
Okay,
website,
okay,
and
all right.
you can buy tickets online. You can come visit me. I actually do the tours now. Dennis had passed away, so I actually.
What a nice man!
Oh, he was.
I
was
liked
awesome.
him.
Yeah.
Was he a teacher? At one
He
point?
was. Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
shop teacher.
Yeah.
And he loved taking the tour about it and educating. And you see a lot out there. You see the music park. You see we go behind the drive-in theater. We show you where the planes used to take off. We got a lot out there.
I liked there was a park like Cannibal Lake Park that was right on the river, and you see the foundation. I never knew that until
Merrimack
he
Park,
told
yeah.
me about it. Is that what it was called?
Merrimack Park. Yeah.
Right.
It was big as Kennedy Lake.
Well,
Was it?
listen, listen, Rocky, I want to thank you very, very much. You've got a job that I know you love it, but a lot of people don't really appreciate, and it's getting them to know about what you're doing and the difference you're making.
Yeah.
And like you said, as politicians are getting older and the younger generation is coming in, they're more in tune to what the environment what has to be done if we're to survive.
Yeah.
And once again, it's always a pleasure. Merry Christmas to you and Paula. My son, how are
Yes,
you?
sir. I'm doing okay, and it's my pleasure to have introduced you to Rocky,
Absolutely.
and to get his message out. I donate. Everybody else out there can just put a couple bucks in the mail, send it to Rocky. He does amazing things with little money, and it just I am grateful for his friendship.
You know what this means?
Time out.
Time out means to go. Listen, next week, everybody, join us. Mark Leone's in the studio. Ronnie Valenti. This ought to be a freaking crazy show. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy. Be kind to each other. Take care.
Ciao.